Hey, what's going on, people? This is Kqcc Boxing. This is the place to be. That's right. Shout out to the LDBC and shout out to all my subscribers. Now, I got a special guest with me today, and he's a real dude. I show him a lot of respect. What's going on, Johnny John, in the chat? And it's Junior the Truth. He's always a good brother to me. Anytime I need help, he reaching out for me. Every time I need advice, he giving it to me. And he works, he's a workaholic. I extend my hand to him many times and hey, I got it. I got it. So here you go, Junior the Truth. Go ahead, talk to him, Junior. Tell them how they can follow you.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate it. First of all, man, thanks, bro. Shout out to Kqkc, man. I appreciate you, bro, for having me on. It's an honor, man, to be in here on your platform, bro. I really, truly appreciate you, big bro. Man, I'm out here, man. You can follow me everywhere via social media, man. I can be found with the handle Junior the Truth, JuniorTheTruth, and that's over all the social media platforms. Also, you can come over to my YouTube channel, which is just that Junior the Truth, JuniorTheTruth, and it's all one word. I know a lot of people know me as the moderator for the Smoke City Mobcast, which you can catch every Wednesday, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I will say that I also have my own channel. A lot of people don't know that. So you can come over to my channel, man, and also follow me everywhere via social media. So I appreciate it, bro.
Oh, okay, right. And you do the Punch Junkie in the morning. And
yes, indeed.
Right. He's come on right off of Cali Enigma. So, and I appreciate that. But you know what? I want to kick it off with probably your favorite subject in a minute, but Adrian Broner. Okay? Now, a lot of people do come down on Adrian Broner. All right? But, no, his bad points. But what I want to talk about is good points, because Adrian Broner, yeah, he do some silly shit. I ain't gonna lie. He does, and at first that was just because he was immature, So, but I'm gonna tell you this though. He put asses in the seats. He's inciting, he will go for it, in the Emmanuel Taylor fight. He went for it. And Sean Porter fight, he went for it. He do not turn down a fight. He will fight you. It doesn't matter if he doesn't let his hands go or not. He's still gonna step into that ring. So I can't, I can't knock him for that. And he's still young. He's still in his prime. And like he said, all the best losers. But hey, he just got to regroup, get himself together, and maybe he had to put a new team around him, But then again, you can't keep flipping back and forth like that because you'll never have stability like that, And he knows the mistake he's making, and he's not really making a lot of mistakes, really. He just got to let his hands go. He's still the same AB. He just got to let his hands go. He's a great counter puncher, I like the way he put out that right hand and hesitate, then throw it, and that catches a lot of guys off hands it's like a feint right hand, and then it tags you. So, but yeah, outside he gets a rap. Tank, he gets a bad rap. It's just that these are young guys. These are young fighters. These are fighters that just don't care about legacy right now. What's up, Devon? They don't care about legacy right now. Only thing they care about right now is, bringing home that bag, And I assume once they get older, when they get in their 30s, then they start thinking about, how much money they pissed away, and then they start talking about legacy, Adrian Broner hasn't done bad. If it weren't for Adrian Broner, Tank wouldn't even known Floyd Mayweather. He would have never signed with Floyd Mayweather. Adrian Broner could have said, hey, look, come on, sign with about billions. I'm about to hook this up, But he didn't do that, and I appreciate that. I mean, he gets a bad rap, man, but he don't deserve all that shit now. You know, I mean, how you feel about it, Junior?
Sorry, man, I was on mute. Now I know what people talk about when they say it takes so long to get off mute.
Yeah.
Man, I feel well. This is gonna be. I'm an Ohio boy through and through. You know what I'm saying? It's that's just what it is. Admittedly, so I rock with Adrian the Problem Broner for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Especially as it relates to the sport. Things that go on inside that square circle.
Right.
Similar to everybody else, I'm a man, at the end of the day. You feel me? In his words, I'm a man at the end of the day. So, I have exacting standards when it comes to the way men should conduct themselves inside and outside. Outside of the ring or just in life in general. So some of the things, of course, I don't sign off on. The thing that people lose sight of a lot with regard to Adrian Broner is the fact that he's still in his 20s, man. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody, because he's been around so long and he's been relevant for so long, people tend to think and lose sight of the fact that he's still 20. He's like 28, I believe. Right, you know what I'm saying? He's still a very, very young man. You know what I mean? Now, granted, he turned, he's a young veteran. Granted, the issue is he turned pro in 2008. So he's been around 11 years. You feel me?
Wow.
So people lose sight of that. He turned pro in 2008, bro. So he's been around a very long time. So he's 29. He's 29. He just turned 29. Salute Derek Bailey. So he's 29 years old, right? We look. He turned. That's a fact. He turned 29 in July. So he'll be 30 in July. We look at that and I look at it and I'm like, I don't. I understand everybody gets on their thing with the way they want people to behave, especially in front of the camera and so on and so forth. Like, I get it, I understand, but I also remember how I was when I was in my 20s. You feel me? Right. Going into my early 30s, I remember myself, and thank God it wasn't cameras and stuff behind me. Now, that's not making excuses for him or anything along those lines, because at the end of the day, he's a man. He's a man, that he's a father. You feel me? He's going to be a husband, I guess, whenever he gets married to his fiance or whatever the case may be. So I still get all of that, but I think people lose the sight of his age. Also, I think too that when you live a public life like that, there are various things that can happen in a person's age that I feel that cause them to develop at a different rate. I think he's very, very young, man. And he's still young in the mind, and he hasn't gone through a lot of things that people who aren't privileged to being, a millionaire, a multi-millionaire in their early 20s. He's not privileged to go through a lot of the things that we've gone through. So, whatever. Inside the ring, I don't think you can deny him as a boxer, him as a fighter. He's 33-4-1. You know what I'm saying? Right. Every fight that he's lost, arguably he lost to Hall of Famers. Arguably. You know what I mean? You got, the Mikey Garcia. Well, you got the Manny Pacquiao loss. Without a doubt, he's a Hall of Famer. You got the Mikey Garcia loss with, without a doubt, Mikey Garcia is going to be in the Hall of Fame. You have the Sean Porter loss. Sean Porter can be, I think, on his way to the Hall of Fame. Right. And you got the Marcos Maidana fight that he lost, which was his very first loss. And also, we know what Chino Maidana was. We know at that time, we know what Broner was doing at the time. He moved up 2 weight classes, ill-advised, but he did it. You know what I'm saying? The fans said that they wanted to see him go up and do that. He went up and did it unequivocally. Undoubtedly went up and faced Chino Maidana and lost his belt that he had taken from Paulie Malignaggi in the first defense of that belt, the WBA belt. And we know what Chino Maidana was. We know what Chino Maidana went on to do with his career. He went and had a rough tumble fight with Floyd, and a lot of people argued that he actually beat Floyd. Floyd gave him a rematch, so he got 2 fights versus Floyd. So Chino Maidana was a dog, and arguably could, possibly, probably won't, maybe not be a Hall of Famer with regard to over here. He definitely be in the Argentinian Hall of Fame. I don't know if they have one or not, but you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure he'll be over there. But that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? The thing that you see with Broner, is his outlandish behavior. The fact that he talks, you know what I'm saying? He talks the talk. And at this juncture, he hasn't necessarily walked the walk with regard to his step-up fights. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that we see. He's not ducking any fades. He's taking on, he takes on, they bring him fights, he takes them. People wonder why he gets these paydays and so on and so forth. It's because Adrian Broner doesn't duck work. He stayed loyal to Al Heyman. He stayed loyal to the PBC. He stayed loyal to the Vision. Even when he was offered that money from Rock Nation, he stayed loyal. You know what I mean? He continued, doing what it was he was doing with the PBC, and as a result of all of that is how you see him getting rewarded right now. So I mean, I just like I said, I'm pissy with Adrian Broner right now because of his comment with regard to not getting black people support. You know what I mean? And I've spoke about that on my platform this morning. But outside of that, man, Adrian Broner, is exactly who he is.
Right. Now, Derek Bailey said, I can appreciate that the fact AB hasn't changed, though. I believe he's genuine and doesn't feel like he has to be something else. True. AB won't flip the script like Ward. No. What you see with AB is pretty much what you're going to get, And like I said, like Junior said that, hey, Marcos Madonna, he wasn't no fighter to come to lay down. He gave Floyd a rough and tumble fight, especially that first one. Floyd came up with a game plan on the second one. Because Floyd only gave 2 rematches his whole career. So he gave Marcos Madonna a rematch because everybody thought he lost. So he had something to prove. So, I'm not saying Broner is not better than Floyd or Floyd better than him, whatever. But this guy was trouble, in the welterweight division. He made his money, he got out. But he was trouble, and he came out of nowhere. He been around, but he just came out of nowhere and did his thing, But Adrian Broner, as far as black people supporting him, man, Junior, black people support Adrian Broner. He got black people that love him because they like what he do. They like how he act. They like how he come in with the sunglasses and rapping. People like that, especially the young brothers out there, And you're right, he don't change. He's not going to be that company man. He's not that type, He's that type where he's genuine. Like he got mad at Floyd, hey, if you my boy, you supposed to call and see how I'm doing, which he right in a way, and I bet he does that, you can't get no genuine in that.
Can I speak on that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the thing with and a lot of times people get it misunderstood. They think that, you know what I'm saying, it's like they think it's like the situation with Floyd. They think it's like Floyd is busy doing what he does. He doesn't have time to call on you and check on you and so on and so forth. It's not that. The problem with that situation is that Floyd was very, very critical of Adrian Broner, and Floyd said very piercing things about Adrian Broner to other people. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff kind of circulated and would get back to Broner. And the thing is, it's like this. If you feel this way about me and you feel this way about what I'm doing, and we have this quote unquote relationship, then you should feel free to reach out to me. Why aren't you reaching out to me? You know what I'm saying? If you really truly got a problem with me, why aren't you reaching out and talking to me? You know what I'm saying? We can't talk. That's like if I said something on a video that offended you, you know what I'm saying? Kqkc, and instead of, you know what I'm saying, talking to me, you know what I mean, about it or reaching out to me or whatever the case may be, then you make a video, or you know what I'm saying, you're talking to Fanon and Stay Ready and all these other people about something that I did that doesn't make sense. We're supposed to have this sort of relationship. You calling me your little brother, big brother, we're supposed to have this relationship where you supposed to feel free to say, look, bro, I didn't appreciate that, or I think you did this and this made me feel, we're supposed to have that kind of relationship. It's not that, you know what I'm saying? The situation with Floyd, and I don't want to make this about Floyd and so on and so forth, but that situation was not genuine. Now, just like you said, Adrian Broner is a genuine dude. Tank Davis are genuine dudes. Those dudes are dudes that you pretty much get what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're genuine. We come from hard times. Bro, we all come from hard times. We know what it is. You come from hard times. Now, what happens is people show people fake love in order to get what they can from them. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Broner and the whole situation with Floyd Mayweather was the little brother, big brother thing, was because Floyd Mayweather was launching Mayweather Promotions, TMT, and he wanted Adrian Broner to be on TMT. Adrian Broner was supposed to come over and be the face of TMT. He was going to be the money horse because he's little Floyd. He's what's the one that's next, yada, yada, yada. Adrian Broner had his own thing going with the About Billions. Now I'm going to promote myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Under the tutelage of Al Heyman, I'm going to promote myself and make my own bread just like you doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your money. If you're going to do anything for me, bro, you show me the map. And the thing for me, I know for me with my youngins that reach out to me that I take under my wing or whatever the case may be, they look at, I'm not going to kick you out no bread, bro. It's over with for that. You know what I'm saying? I got a wife. I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I got babies. They feet grow every day, bro. I'm not going to give you my bread. But I had no problem with sharing my knowledge, you know what I'm saying, that I've acquired, or have no problem with showing you, hey, I did this. You might want to think about that. I didn't do this. You probably want to do that, so on and so forth. And so that was the premise of the relationship from Broner's eyes. But it's not when you're disgenuine and you disloyal, a real nigga gonna pick up on that. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the real one is not gonna look at you in the same light. And so people wonder why their relationship is so tumultuous, is because, bro, we see, bro, look at Floyd Mayweather, bro. Look at him. Right. Look at him. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. Where I'm from, I'm gonna talk about where I'm from. Where I'm from, the way Floyd act, I'm from the west side of Dayton, Ohio. The way Floyd act, I couldn't be associated with that. You feel me? Like I couldn't be associated with that and then go and be around my old heads, because my old heads gonna look at me like I'm half a homosexual or something. No diss to the homosexuals or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna look at me in a different light. Like, bro, you really running around with this dude? You know what I'm saying? And it's when I grew up and I had friends that had them sucker like characteristics. I was raised by men. I was raised by men with exacting standards when it came to shit, bro. You couldn't just act any old kind of way, bro. You feel me? Like you couldn't just gallivant around the community and just act any old kind of way. You can't just talk any old kind of way. You couldn't say stuff around women. Like you had to have exacting standards with the way you behaved yourself. And then when I would be out and I would see people who would act certain ways, and I can't do that. And so fast forward that to Floyd, like I couldn't do that coming from where I'm from. You see what I'm saying? Right. And it's no, I don't care how much money, I don't care nothing about none of that. I can't be associated with that. And I think it's the same for, you know, Broner, and he wrestles with it. You know what I'm saying? Because the real shit is in him, but he gives way to a lot of the sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that we see this conflict playing out. All right, I'm quiet about it, bro.
No. You free to talk, man. You know, always. Go ahead, and if you finish, you know.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, money.
You know, but I hear what you're saying. Because, like, I was brought up the same way, Southside Chicago. You know, even though we stayed in Inglewood, which is like, it's a really rough area now. But, you know, we was raised differently. It didn't matter where you live. It was how you was raised. And you're right. You know, the things that Floyd do outside the ring, I would never do. You know, like I was telling everybody about this book. Who gonna write that book when it's time? You know, who's going to write that book and tell all about Floyd Joy Mayweather? Who's going to write that book and tell about what Floyd has done to men and women? Who's going to write that book and tell what Floyd been doing when he was boxing, what he wasn't doing when he was boxing? You know who? Leonard Ellaby. That's who. Because Floyd's the type that will fall out with his friends. Always, you know. Leonard Ellaby, the only one he hasn't found out with yet that we know of. You know, 50 Cent, Tank, Adrian. I mean, you name it, he fell out with people. Why? Because he's selfish.
He fell out with Leonard Ellaby too, bro. Remember when he fired Leonard Ellaby after one of those fights? Was it the McDonough fight? I think it was, or shit, I need to look. It might have been the Pacquiao fight. He fell out with Leonard Ellaby because they put up some belt that he didn't think was put up as a part of the fight, and so he had removed Leonard Ellaby as CEO from Mayweather Promotions. They fell out. They had that big public thing, and then they relinquished it and pulled it back together. But stuff like that, though, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's an example, bro. That is, women make spectacles of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a woman get upset, she sits around and makes a spectacle. She gonna smack her lips and run around and slam stuff and do all that stuff because she wants you to know that you like people. That's female like tendencies, bro. Real men come to the table and sit down and talk. Even if we gotta agree to disagree, we gotta go outside and hit the grass. Like, whatever we gotta do. Women act like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just. But yeah, he fell out with Leonard. My fault, bro.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But hey, that's what's going to happen. Floyd doesn't like Tank. There's no way Tank should have took 3 times to make weight the other night. An hour and a half it took to make weight. It doesn't take that long to make weight. As a promoter, that's your job to make sure your fighter got what he need and he on point, and ready for the fight. It shouldn't took Floyd that night to talk to Tank. He should have been talking to Tank. But you know what? Floyd's selfish, and he's trying to find the next million or two that he can make. He's not worried about that stable. He don't care. Ishay Smith, he could have had better coaching. Someone telling him, hey, look, stop ducking or you're going to get an uppercut in your face. He kept ducking. And he's a veteran. He should know better. It seems like these guys are there at the Floyd Mayweather Club just to see Floyd. They like in awe, But that's why I say Tank need to get away from Floyd Mayweather. So he's a young, hungry lion that's ready to fight 2 or 3 times a year, if he can, So that's what should happen. So, but yeah, go ahead and let's see what else. Did you see all the fights this weekend?
I did, man. I did. Before we move on, let me say this, Kqkc, with regard to the Adrian Broner and the Mayweather and all that, because I'm really beyond this comparing them. That's just like, I get sick of people talking about stuff that's going wrong with fighters, and then automatically it's Adrian Broner's fault. It's like Adrian Broner is like the red herring of boxing. Tank don't make weight. He been hanging out with Adrian Broner. Tank go to jail. All that hanging out with Adrian Broner. Like, I'm so sick of hearing that, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? These is grown ass men first and foremost. Secondly, Adrian Broner, a lot of that stuff. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. But right. I'll say this. I look at the parallels with regard to them as promoters, and I see Adrian Broner and About Billions being a way better promotional outfit than the Money Team. And if I'm not, or Mayweather Promotions, if I'm not mistaken, at this point, I think About Billions has had more world champions. I think they had more world champions than the Money Team, than the Mayweather Promotions. If I'm not mistaken, I know that they had, the Mayweather Promotions had Tank. I think Ishay Smith got a title.
And Badu Jack.
Did Badu Jack ever have a title? Did he have a major title? I'm not sure if he had a major title or not.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if it was a major title, but didn't he take one off of DL? No. They had a draw. That's right.
Yeah, they had that draw.
Right.
But I'm not sure if did he hold? Let me see. He just fought for the WBA light heavyweight title. You know what I'm saying? And that was and then the WBC silver title, right? And that was against Marcus Brown, and Marcus Brown beat him all upside his damn head. He fought Adonis Stevenson for his WBC title, and that was a draw.
Right.
Let me see. Did he win? He won a WBC world super. He was a super middleweight champion. He was a champion at super middleweight.
Okay.
Not light heavy. He was a champion at super middleweight, and then moved up to light heavy. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay. So he had him. Adrian Broner had himself. He had Robert Easter Jr. He had Rasheed Warren. You know what I'm saying? So at,
Right.
you know, they're right at the right there comparison. Now the thing is, Adrian Broner's still actively in his career. You know what I mean? And when you see, you know, I just look at the way those dudes are promoted. I just look at the things that you know, are going on with the promotional outfit, and I think that he can be, you know, way better. He can be one of the best promoters in the game, I think. But you know, we just have to see, and that is once again keeping in mind the fact that, you know, he stays on course and on par with the business.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because now, you know, a lot of these guys, a lot of these fighters, they promoting their own self now. And using Al Heyman as pretty much an advisor, you know. So basically cutting out the middleman. And they just negotiating themselves if they got something to negotiate with, you know. But most of the guys like Earl Spence, Deontay Wilder, you know, they got something to bring to the table, like a belt, you know, undefeated record. You know, you can work with Mikey Garcia the same way. You know, you can, you know, you got something to work with when you go in there for negotiations. You know, Eddie Hearn, you know, he didn't even put up a purse bid against Warrington and Galahad. You know, Frank Warren won the purse bid with 10 stacks, and that's it. You know, and that was so funny, man. You know, a couple of people was talking about this earlier about, and I talked about it too, about how the Zone and Eddie Hearn, you know, they wanted to take over boxing. They wanted to make this amount of money, this and that. But you come to look at it, you know, E.J. Smith, he made $75,000. Okay, that fight. Tank made $1 million for that one round knockout. Now, Tank made more than the whole DAZN card. So they was only like 90 miles apart from each other in California. You know, about a 2-hour drive. And you know, Machado, you know, he lost. So Jojo Diaz, he made 70,000. So where's all this money at that the Zone's supposed to have? You know, or Eddie Hearn, or are they tired of throwing away good money out the bag? You know, we all know about the fights he had. It was too many on one card. Then it wasn't enough on another one. Then he had another one in Kansas in the cornfield somewhere. Now they fight at Madison Square Garden. You know. Now AJ on a cherry picking thing. You know, he don't want to fight Wilder. He don't want to fight Fury. He don't want to fight Ortiz. You know, he definitely don't want to fight Dylan White now. And Dylan White, you know, even though he's from the UK, I think he deserved a shot because he got beat, he got knocked out, he had to drop all the way down, he came right back up, he kept winning. Now he back where he was at. You know, don't you think he deserved at least $7 million? You know, that what kills me. You know, that they must have all this money, but AJ, that's why he didn't want to come over here, right? See, we're gonna figure out how much he's gonna make, and the people in the UK gonna figure out how much he's gonna make because they have to tell what they purses are. Over there, they don't have to do that. You know, Eddie Hearn can say anything. He making $15 million per fight. You know, he can say anything, but you can't say anything over here. You get in trouble. So either you get your mouth closed or you have to do, you know, talk about it. No, actually, you have to divulge how much you're going to make. I think so. Yeah. So that's, you know, that's the issue there now. You know, now the UK people looking like, you know, why is he going over there? You know why? Because that's where the money is. A lot of people don't understand that. You know, no offense to the UK, definitely no offense, but they are a smaller market than the United States. And when Eddie Hearn came over here, they kind of like blackballed him because of the issues they had with him taking over American boxing. So now he can't fight in the Barclays Center. He can't. He can't fight in the StubHub or the MGM Grand. He has to fight in other venues that's non-boxing venues. So, I mean, what do you think about the money issue with the zone? Do you really think that they just don't want to throw no money after him no more, or they don't trust him no more, or what you think?
I think his bitch ass ain't delivered, man. I think he ain't delivered. I think he went there. He got that deal with the zone on the premise of delivering some real shit to that network, so that they can break into the or to that app, so that they can break into the American market and clean this shit up. Because people think for some reason that there's this big ass void that's going on in the sport of boxing, and what you have is people that are jockeying for position in the sport of boxing. The sport of boxing is far from wide open as it relates to the network deals and fighters and so on and so forth. Like people are at war, basically. You know what I'm saying? Anytime if it was wide open, HBO would still be up and moving, up and running. Anytime you have people or entities in the sport shutting down shop, how can you be shutting down shop and we still got boxing fight? We still got fights going on. It's not like I can understand shutting down shop if we just ran out of boxers and there were no more matches to be made, or there was no money to be made within it, so on and so forth. Like I would understand that, but you still have fights that are going on now. We got more boxing than ever. We get fights every weekend.
Yeah, well, I was
So it's wide open. It's not wide open, but now there's opportunity there, but you got to get in and you got to be strategic and you got to move the right way. Eddie Hearn didn't. Eddie Hearn made a promise. Eddie Hearn promised. He got the deal over at the zone on the whole premise, and you can write this down, man. You can roll it up, smoke it. I don't give a fuck. You do whatever you want to with it. You feel me? He got that deal on the premise of he was going to deliver the Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder super fight to the DAZN. Period. Yep. Now, what happened was he got sloppy with the pots. He got sloppy with the pots and wanted to maximize his coin for that fight. He wanted to minimize the amount of money that they were going to pay Deontay Wilder. They already had a set amount that they were going to pay AJ. AJ went unequivocally without any questions for him. Same shit they've been doing. They've been paying AJ a certain amount of money, period, whatever it is. We don't know. They act like it's 20 million or whatever, 30 million, 40 million, whatever the case may be. It's probably more about, somewhere south of 10, but whatever. I don't care, whatever it is. They were going to pay him his amount, and then they were going to do everything that they could to maximize the rest of their coin coming from the DAZN. He promised that. And then he had proof, because based on Deontay Wilder's desire to have that fight, Deontay Wilder's zest for having that fight, Deontay Wilder basically accepting whatever offer it was that they were saying, and Deontay Wilder saying, basically, I'm going to accept whatever, the going back and forth, the negotiations, that was his proof to take to the DAZN. The DAZN said, shit, we got something here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Since that point, things have shifted. The dynamic has shifted with Eddie Hearn doing all of this plan, trying to maximize his coin, trying to be greedy, trying to be the ultimate capitalist with this situation. They lost control of the negotiation. They lost the fight. That bitch got up and walked away from the conversation, and she over there talking to that player. You feel me? She over there doing whatever she doing with that player. You feel me? You get sloppy with the whole pots, with the whole situation. And as a result of that, the zone is like, hold on, not only have we not got the Wilder versus Joshua super fight that you promised us, you're not even delivering solid fights that these people are. There are no subscriptions coming to the app. People aren't watching this. The events aren't getting set up. They're having to move people down, from the rafters to come down to make the house look like it's full, and so on and so forth at these events.
Right.
And you're not delivering. You're not delivering anything. So much, in fact, bruh, the DAZN didn't even pick up the Dillian White versus Derek Chisora fight.
Yeah.
They didn't even pick up that fight. They're not even, at this juncture, the DAZN is not even interested in the products that are being produced by their partner. The DAZN is in bed with Mushroom Boxing, and they're not even interested in the products that they're producing. You understand what I'm saying? That's like you going into you going into business with shit. I don't know. You make music, and you know what I'm saying. You write lyrics, and I make beats. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden we go in together, and all of a sudden you think my beats whack as hell. Like, bro, your beats whack as hell. I ain't even. You didn't made that one, bro. I can't even use that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even use that. And then Kanye West pick it up and do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that. You feel me? Like they're not even interested in the products that they're producing. And so they're and then not only that, in addition to the fact that they're not interested in the products that Mushroom Boxing is producing, in addition to that, bro, Oscar De La Hoya became a bastard without a country. When HBO folded, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, became a bastard without a country. And what did he do? He went straight savage mode and went over there to the DAZN app and housed that shit. Said, look, I'm gonna bring you Canelo Alvarez, the biggest name in the sport of boxing, the only pay-per-view star still active in the sport. Yeah, he's a cheater. Yeah, we racist, but fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We here, and I guarantee you that you're gonna get access to this Mexican demographic who are going to download your app. DAZN says, shit, we got this money. We will sign up in the Mushroom Boxing for a futuristic deal. Fuck that. They take that money and slide it over to Oscar. Now what you got? You feel me? And so now you got Oscar that's over there, straight savage. All of his stuff's getting picked up. Yeah. All of his stuff's getting picked up. And none of, you know what I'm saying? None of the DAZN stuff. And that's what's happening. Period. That's just what it is. Eddie's in trouble, man. This is the beginning of the end. And then since then, Wilder and Fury have gotten together. Now they doing the double up. You feel me? So they so in trouble that the whole plan was to fight Dillian White, and now Dillian White acting up. You know what I'm saying? Now your bottom bitch acting up. She don't even want to partake no more. Like the jig is up, man. The jig is up.
We said the bottom bitch acted up.
Man, the bottom bitch acting a fool, man.
Man, yes.
Your foundation, the rock solid, she acting up.
Yep.
Now what you gonna do?
Right. Cause he thought, you know, he getting all this money, and I mean, he thought he just go out and get fighters. You know, he didn't go out and get good fighters because most likely the good fighters already is represented. You know, and you know you can't talk to no fighters that's under contract because of Muhammad Ali Act. But he went out and got Brian Rios. You know, Brandon Rios. You know, he went and got fighters. But he didn't go out and get good fighters, you know. That's what he messed up at. He got Tevin Farmer, you know, and now the DAZN said, well, look, I want everybody to fight on the DAZN. I want them to fight nowhere else. But he could not sell that app, and he could not sell them seats out. You know, he couldn't sell Chicago out. Chicago's not a boxing city, you know. I mean, sure, you got some that like boxing. But we are Bears country, you know, Cubs, White Sox, Blackhawks, the Bulls. I mean, you know, he's in the wrong place. You know, he should have. This is what he should have done. He should have did like Al Haymon did. You know, send somebody over there, check out and see, you know, what's the feel or how does everything work, or you know what they you know, was the big star fighting, you know, take place at like the O2 Arena or the Wimbledon or in Sheffield even, you know. But he think everybody's stupid and we smart. He's the smartest man, and he just fucked up, you know. And DAZN they don't give a shit about boxing. They just want to make some money. You know, that's all billionaires want to do, make money. You know, they don't give a shit about who this and who that. And Oscar and Canelo, they under a contract. It's a big one, but the stipulations under that contract. You know, you got to perform well, and you got to do well in order to get that money. You know, it wasn't like Floyd when him and Showtime did their deal. Win, lose, or draw, Floyd, you gonna get that money. over the 5 fights. But Canelo have to win, and he have to look good at doing it. And that's why he went over and got Rocky Fielding. But Danny Jacobs, it might be a risk a little bit, but he still probably come out on top. He's not the old fighter when he was 22 fighting Floyd or 23. So, I can see that. But Oscar De La Hoya, I really believe that he's trying to stab Eddie Hearn in the back so he can be the man and Eddie Hearn go back home. That's how Oscar De La Hoya works.
It's no doubt, man, and I agree everything with that, because we have to remember that when Eddie Hearn was bringing that transatlantic deal over here to come take over America, Oscar De La Hoya is a part of America. He's the golden boy. You know what I'm saying? He's the golden boy because, well, they say different reasons, but he won a gold medal. In the Olympics, he's been here. He's a part of that American establishment. So he's going to get his shit off as well. He's a part of that. You were gonna come over here and take over. He's a part of that. You was gonna come over and take his shit too. It's a part of it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And it's funny how these promoters, they just like bitches. They get jealous too. Everybody was jealous of Al Haymon. They were so jealous they took the man to court. He won, but they still took him to court. And I mean, it's hard to do business with people like that. I understand Bar Aaron from the old school. He do things the old way, and I'm surprised Terrence Crawford got what he got. But when you pin Terrence Crawford against Lomachenko, I mean, that's not a good look. Now, Bradley, he got out of there for some reason. I don't know what it was, but we'll find out later on down the line. But, he wasn't ready to retire. He still had some fight in him, But they got him out of there for some reason, Gregory Wyatt, no, that was IUP Gilmore said, good analogy, Junior. And Phyllis Nuez said, what's up? And Dog 7 JL said, salute family. Derek Bailey said, Brandon Rios needs to retire. Dude is punch drunk. Yeah, I believe that. I can tell by his speech and everything, And let me see what else. Derek Bailey said, salute Mark. Oh, he's talking to him. Okay, Ronald Frank, I'll be back. Okay, they talking to each other. Ronald Finkley, what's up, family? Marcus Johnson said Derek Bailey Hearn has grossly miscalculated AJ's worth and should have busted a move last year. Well, yeah, AJ, I still, he can't convince me that he's making all that money in the UK. I just can't see it, or because they pay what, $25 for pay-per-view, and they, I believe, if they don't pay for pay-per-view, they don't get no boxing. Is that how it go?
Yeah, well, not all of it. Some of it's on free TV, but a lot of those top fights are on pay-per-view over there on those networks.
Okay. So, because I know, I called the fight the other night, Showtime. They said Showtime, they can't pick up Showtime in the UK. I always thought they could, but they can't. So, and they don't have the zone over there. Now, I thought that was the zone came from, the UK, but they have it in, I believe, Ireland or somewhere like that. But yeah, but and Tank, I want to talk about him just for a brief moment. He came out and did what he's supposed to do on Monday, but it's time for him to step up. Okay, I mean, Abner Mares would have been a good fight for him, for a young man like that. And if he would have won in great fashion, that would have been a great move, And he needs to stay busy, and that keep him out of trouble, for one. And for two, that gonna hone in on his craft better. The more you practice, the better you get. More repetitious it becomes. You know, like Allen Iverson say, practice, practice, practice. You know, that's all you have to do. Practice. But sparring is different than being in there in a real fight now. Yeah, Tank broke that guy nose. You know, and that's why he got hit again. He was like, hell, man, I can't do this again. I can't even breathe through my nose. You know, so that's why all that blood squirted out so fast. Now they want to pop it right back in place. Then Badu Jack, all these are Floyd Mayweather's proteges or stable. And all these fighters should have been protected better, as far as defense, And Badu Jack, he had that big cut. His wife, it reported that his wife was about to jump out the seat and stop the fight herself. Because, they got a kid and a family and a new house. So she was like, wait a minute, he can't win. He can't see to knock nobody out to win. So he got a big cut. Then when Marcus Brown hit him with that uppercut, he made it even wider. So he had to have 50 stitches. 50 now. 50 stitches because the white meat was out and the blood vessels. So they had to stitch those together inside, to stop the bleeding before you come up with a blood clot in his head. And, that could lead to death, really. So, but, Floyd should have been up there. Floyd should have been the one to say, hey, look, stop the fight. I mean, the referee should have stopped it, But I know a fighter want to go out on the shield and they don't want to quit. But, hell, if you can't see, you got a gash over your forehead, on the sides of the garage, you just don't want to, you don't want to see that shit, Yeah, it was a bad cut too, man, So, but Marcus Brown, he won that night, but I just can't see him, going any further, He just not that guy. He never had that. He won one and he might lose one, win one, lose one, and I don't know was it a competition or what, So, but while it lasted, it was a pretty good fight. Badu Jack, he can go to the body, but he don't go to the body hard enough. That's the problem. Butte, he went to the body, but he didn't hit hard enough. So, I don't know. What do you think about that fight, Joey?
I'm a Marcus Brown fanatic. I've been calling for Marcus Brown to get a title shot for quite some time now. I really truly like Marcus Brown's game. I've been probably the only one saying that. People think I'm crazy and talked about how Marcus Brown ain't shit or whatever. Marcus Brown is the truth, and I have him atop the light heavyweight division. And Marcus Brown beat the shit out of Badu Jack, and the cut had nothing to do with it. The cut was in my opinion.
Oh no, most definitely he was whooping his ass before the cut because he was behind points and rounds. It wasn't no way he could have won. If only way he could have won was a knockout. To get the knockout.
Yeah, because he couldn't lay a glove on Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown beat his ass. I'm not so sure. My problem with that is I'm not so sure if it was Marcus Brown being that outstanding or the decline of Badu Jack. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, and I can say that honestly. I think that Badu Jack is at the end of it all, and he's just not going to be able to get it done against that next tier of competition. I would like to see him, start to weigh out his options at this juncture. You know what I'm saying? At the end, he's 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? You do have a family, you do have kids, and so on and so forth. So I would love to kind of maybe start to put together that, that plan of action into the next part of your career, especially after that cut, man. That was brutal. And I don't think, at the end of it all, I don't think that fight should have went on. I think it was, you know, that if ever there was a fight that should have been stopped, I thought that should have been stopped. You know, it's just, you know, I just think it was too much. You know what I'm saying? I really truly think it was too much. I think his health and safety and well-being was at risk. And I think that it was his corner was very they didn't do their job, you know what I'm saying, with regard to protecting their fighter, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I just don't, you know, I just didn't like it, man. Like I said, I thought that Marcus Brown was he was on another level that night. You know what I'm saying? He was on another level. He was not accepting of anything that Badou Jack was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to let Badou Jack get inside. He boxed him beautifully. He boxed him masterfully. He showed speed. He showed power. He showed ring generalship. He showed great footwork. He showed he was the boss. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Brown was the boss. And when I said that, I've had this when I said that the cut had nothing to do with it, I've been arguing with some of the other brothers, because the brothers, you know, some brothers seem to think that, you know, if it wasn't for the cut, then it would have been a totally different fight. And I call bullshit. Marcus Brown beat the hell out of the Badou Jack. He beat his ass. Right. And that's just, you know, all there is to it. What's next for Marcus Brown, man? I want Marcus Brown to get in there with the other with the champions in the light heavyweight division. Like, it's time. You know what I mean? It's time. And as it relates to Tank Davis too, I think it's time. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to talk about that, you know, real quickly, because you mentioned it. You know, I feel, and this is me honestly speaking, Kqkc, I feel that at this juncture with Mayweather, either they are severely miscalculating the sport of boxing where it is right now, or they're trying to sabotage his career. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But moving Tank Davis the way that Tank Davis is being moved right now is very detrimental to his career. Allowing him to be in a space right now where it's being viewed as he's ducking Lomachenko is very, very dangerous to the success of his career. It's different. The sport of boxing is transitioning. The shit that Floyd Mayweather did, and I'll continue to say this, the stuff that he did Floyd was a unicorn. I know other people call him an anomaly. I'm tired of hearing that word, so I'm gonna call him a unicorn. Floyd is a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? He's a genie. He's a whatever other mystical type of creature that we can talk about. You know what I'm saying? He is, everything happened perfectly for Floyd to have the amount of success that he had. Meaning, you know, he had the right fights that were there. He fought the right fights. He's one of the fighters that was able to have two parts of his career, where the second part was, I'll say, more successful financially than the first part. You know what I'm saying, of his career. So if his career was cut in half, the second part was better. Most fighters, when their career is cut in half, it's a decline. You see what I'm saying? When you look at most fighters' career, when you cut it in the second half of their fight, it's usually there's a decline, even if they move up in competition, and then there's usually a decline. Floyd Mayweather was one of those ones that he had an upside, and he got to the point where he can actually enforce policy and call shots in his career, and he was smart about making the right calls at the right time. He did a lot of things in his career. He did a lot of things to muster up a lot of different feelings. He did it, and I had to think about this, and I was going to do a video about it. I'm still going to do this video, but I'm going to drop it here in your platform first, bro. So this is the exclusive shit into the mind of Junior the Truth. Floyd was and I know people understand the mastery of him or whatever the case may be, but he was really truly a mastermind with invoking human emotions. You feel me? Right. One of the things I saw that he did, and I picked up on it, was you know, we always knew he wore the sombrero when he was fighting Mexican fighters. He took the Cinco de Mayo holiday as one of his days, the Mexican Cinco de Mayo and the holiday in September. He took those Mexican holidays as his fighting days. He usually fought somebody that was Mexican or somebody of Hispanic descent, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. Also, you remember when he fought Gotti, Arturo Gotti? Yeah. You remember his ring walk against Gotti?
Oh, man, he had Romans carrying him in there, and he had Romans on the side. Then they let him down. Then he said, you know, when he get through whooping him, he's going to go party in his town, and which he did, you know. But, you know, see, That's what I was saying. That
So hold on, KQ. Let me finish. Let me finish real quick, KQ. Apologies, man. So now, talk to me about Gotti. What do we know about Arturo Gotti? What was his nationality or his heritage?
Italian.
He's Italian.
Right.
Anybody that knows anything, you know how the Italians feel about the Romans. The Italians are the Romans. You know about the Roman Empire, the so on and so forth. That is the mind of Floyd Mayweather. Him being able to invoke those emotions in people so that no matter what, you want to see him get his ass beat or you want to cheer for him to win. Bruh, to come out do you understand? Like, that's like Arturo Gotti fighting him, you know what I'm saying, getting carried out by Zulu warriors. Right. For those of us who you know what I'm saying, who mind is like that. Him being carried out by like the Zulus. You feel me?
Right.
Like we would be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Gotti ain't bullshit. Him coming out with face paint and shit on, you know what I'm saying, with Zulu warrior face paint and jewelry and a spear and a sword. I mean, and a shield. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the equivalent of that. You know what I mean? And you would invoke some serious emotions. That was crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? When he did it, but he was a master at that. So, you know, that was it. I just wanted to say, but he came along at a right time, and it is not that time anymore.
Right. That's what I was saying. You know, he came along. I mean, interrupt.
No, you good.
But see, Floyd defeated his opponents before they even got in the ring. You know, it was already mentally defeated. Because they say, okay, we fighting Floyd. He's undefeated. He's fast. He's flamboyant. He's talking shit. He's talking smack. He's doing all this gamesmanship. He coming in dressing like this and this and that. Then next thing you know, they game plan is out their head and they just trying to survive. And next thing you know, he wins. You know, and I think Adrian Broner was trying to pick that up, but now. You know, that don't fly now, too much. But whatever Adrian Broner is doing, I don't care what it is or how he speak, whatever, he needs to keep doing it, except for on the outside of the shit, outside of the ring, whatever. But he put asses in the seats. That's why Al Heyman still fuck with Broner. Any other promoter would have just said, hey, put him on the shelf. But no, not Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner people will come see him. He was right. He said, everybody in here still will come see my ass. And he's right. Like Floyd. Floyd came pay-per-view king, not because they want to see him win. They came because they want to see him lose. That's what it was. So with Adrian Broner, I know a lot of people probably hate his guts, but they want to watch. They want to see him. They want to see him act how he act. Man, when he leave out that ring, you ought to see how many people want to shake his hand and take his pictures, even though he lost. So that's what it is. It is what it is, man. For real. Yep. So, no doubt about it, Joey.
Yeah, man. But I mean, like I said, I think that now, that they're running the danger of really doing damage to Gervonta Davis's career. Right now, I would like, as a fan of Davis's, it's time for him to fight. It's time for him to fight Tevin Farmer and get that cleaned up. Then it's time for him to go and fight Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Because we look at what Floyd did at his age. When he was Gervonta Davis's age is totally different. You know what I'm saying? And they know that. So that's why I think that either they're just severely miscalculating or they're trying to sabotage his career. Because I mean, there's just no reason for Tank to be inactive. There's no reason for him to not be fighting the best fights that are going to put his career that are going to catapult his career. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Floyd and well, I won't say Floyd. I think that Mayweather Promotions understands the what a win versus Vasily Lomachenko right now in 2019 will do for Tank Davis's career.
Oh,
I really truly do.
Yeah, they know it. They know it would shoot him up there, But the thing is, like you said, is Floyd scared that he gonna mess up on the outside or whatever? But that's what promoters supposed to do. They supposed to keep their eye on their fight, especially when you have a big fight like Lomachenko coming up. Hey, make sure he stay out of trouble. Make sure he ain't doing all that drinking, and pretty much keep him straight on the straight and narrow to fight night. Make sure he can be able to make that weight to win that belt. So that's what they have to do. If Floyd have to do it himself, but he let him tell he got a lot of money, he can pay somebody to do that. But Tank needs to be Tank and let him go, because he, like you say, he's only 23, 24, and it's time for him to let go and go ahead and throw down. He didn't take no punishment at all, so I don't think the next fight will hurt. And the next one after that, probably, who knows? So, but yep, that's what I think. Tank, he's ready. He's ready. And Abner Mara, that would have been good. That would have been a good fight, man. Think about it. He would have fought Abner Mara, then Lomachenko.
Yeah, I think the Abner Mares fight would have been a good name, but I'm not sure it would have been a good fight. I think Abner Mares would have got, probably similar to what old boy got. Tank is just a different animal. You know what I'm saying? Tank is just a different animal. I think that, like I said, I think it's just time. You know what I'm saying? I really truly do. I know they want to bottle it up, or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, man, at this juncture now with the fan that we have now, like I've said, I think I said it yesterday in the Punch Junkie Morning Show. Where we get up and do this every day. Like, this is what we do every day. Boxing fans are studied. You know what I'm saying? We come in, we're consistent, we're concise, and we're very intentional with what it is that we want, period. And now the Mayweather area, that Mayweather time frame, that Mayweather blueprint is over. Like, that's done. Right. Yes. If you're going to pattern yourself after a fighter now in 2019, where you're trying to work with the boxing fans that are here with what it is that we want, you have to pattern your shit after Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to pattern yourself after his career. You have to go out and give us the best fights, period. You have to go out and go in search of the best fights. And if you do that, the money is going to come. But when you try to manipulate and do little different things to kind of manipulate the money, you're going to have a drop in your popularity. Part of the only reason why Adrian Broner was able to get the payday versus Pacquiao and so on and so forth is because he's been in tough fights, period. Adrian Broner could have ducked everybody and moved strategically and still been undefeated. That's a fact. He could have done that. You know what I'm saying? He could have done that easily, but he didn't. You understand? And as a result, the time frame is just different. We respect fighters that are trying to put in work, not just moving around strategically. That's why they on the clock with this Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. That's why that's on the clock. The time for that is now. They need to figure out and make that happen before both of them dudes lose popularity. Because we see what happens. It's just like they was playing games with the Hurd versus Charlo fight. Now what happened? Charlo lost. That fight's gone. The fight ain't gone. They can still have a fight. But that level of anticipation of that fight with them dudes both being undefeated, the clash of these two titans is gone because Charlo lost, because of the bullshit politics in that division, period. So it's just like, bro, it's different. You got to move different now. It's not the same. And the sooner these fighters realize that, the better. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm really ready for Floyd to transition and stop playing and flirting with stop being the woman that's hanging on. You know what I'm saying? You get you a new thing, and then you go to the family barbecues and the old bra still show up because she cool with your cousin. You feel me? Like, I want him to transition out of that shit. Quit being around. Quit sticking around, bruh. Quit playing around. Quit taking away attention from Tank when Tank talks. Shut the fuck up. Go walk your boots over there and go sit down somewhere and let this man cook. Do your job. You have a job, bro. Do your job. Do your job, man. You feel me? Like, do your job.
Right. Yeah.
And that's just where I'm at with that shit, man, with regards to him.
Yeah. Do your job, man. That's what you got to do. You know, so but I know you gotta run, Joey, and World Breaker about to come on about 5 minutes. So
Yes,
but
indeed.
yes, sir. But man, I really, really appreciate it, man, that you came through, man. Cause you know, this is a good guy to me. Everybody in the chat, you know, and if you haven't subscribed to Kqkc, feel free to do so now. And I will be back tomorrow, and I will throw down a couple videos tonight. So,
yes, let me say this, bro. Let me say this before we go. Apologies.
Oh yeah,
man. Thank you for having me on the platform. I really, truly appreciate you, big bro. I really, genuinely do. I'm very excited for your platform. I'm very excited for the growth. You bring something totally different to the table, man. And the main thing that I appreciate is just your authenticity. I appreciate it's like when I sit down in here, it's like I'm talking to my OG. Every time I listen to you talk, it's like I'm listening to my OGs. You know what I'm saying? It's just laced with game and it's authentic. You know what I'm saying? Even the fact that we see your house in the background, everything neat and orderly and all that, man. I really honestly appreciate that. And I'm excited for your growth, man. If anybody's listening and you have not subscribed to Kqkc, man, be sure to subscribe to this brother. Follow him via social media and everything, man. And let's just continue to grow this platform. Honestly, I don't really concern myself with the subs as much, but I want him to get to 1,000 so that we can begin to monetize this content, because as the tide rises, so do the ships, and we're all in this thing together, man. So I honor you, man, and I appreciate you for having me on your platform, bro.
Man, hey, no doubt about it, man. You always welcome, and like I say, anytime you need a hand with anything, you know, I know you're the host of Smoke City Mobcast, the Punch Junkie Morning Show, and you doing your thing. And hey, that's why I call you my mentor, because you know, when I get to 1,000 subs, I want to help someone else out, you know, like you helped me out, you know. So and I'm not through answering you questions about this, about that, and stuff like that. So and I appreciate my subs, you know. That's why I always try to get to know them and try to get memorized and everything like that. So but they're saying World Breakers canceled, but maybe he got somebody taking his place. I don't know. I usually get off, even though if he's canceled, he usually calls somebody to take his place. So. But with that, man, I appreciate it. Shout out to the LDBC, and this is Kqkc Boxing, and like I say, hit the subscribe and like button. And I'll probably see you tomorrow and throw down a couple of videos tonight. So, and again, thanks again, enjoying the truth. And you take care, and you take care of your family too. All right?
Yes, indeed, bro. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. All right. So with that, we out of here. All right? Peace.
Peace, family.
All right.